Hello, chat boys out there. I hope you've all had a lovely Tuesday. Today in this video, I'm just going to be telling you guys about what I got to on my Tuesday. So this morning, I woke up, I got ready for the day ahead, and I had some toast and a cup of tea. I went to my Facebook to Instagram. My younger brother was out with his mates. He got back, and my younger sister had gone off to the cinema to see Deadpool 2, and she absolutely loved it. I worked on some new chapters to my book and some new songs, exclusive toys for a Dog Slash game, and played my Dog Game Slash show and with my Buddha doll and got my Buddha doll result ready for me to sort out. Watched some old skins episodes and some multi fandom stuff and some fan vids. Worked some fanfic and wrote some fanfic and worked on some new songs. Played on the keyboard and did some arts and craft and watched some Gone Go episodes, Friends and Big Bang Theory and Running Grace episodes. And watched Charmed, Supernatural, Merlin, Doctor 2 and one of the Star Wars films and German Holograms, the animated series episodes and some Barbie and Bratz films and shows. And it's some Barbie Bratz, My Team, Put Doll and Ever After High and other dollar stuff off eBay, Amazon and Smith. And tidied my office up for my working on my new book and description drawings for a Dollar Slash game. And also tidied my Dog Game Slash show up from set up for my Play My Dog Slash show. Moved some of the dolls and doll stuff around and put some of the new dolls on display and some of the older dolls back in storage. And I watched some stuff off Record and BBC iPlayer, caught up on Britain's Got Talent and Casualty, and watched Cake Boss, British Bake Off, and some other cooking show stuff. And watched this morning Lorraine, Lucian, and some other talk show stuff. And watched BBC Doctors, and I watched some episodes of DRSOS, Escape Country Grand Design, and some other house buying and makeover and garden makeover shows. And I also watched some DVDs and listened to some CDs on vinyl and listened to a bit of Panic Disco, Dua Lipa, Anya, Dido, and some other musicians and bands. And I watched some Scooby-Doo DVDs, and for my lunch I had a sandwich and a cup of tea, and I watched some old soap stuff like Skins, What to Do, Green Hill, and some other stuff like that. And my older sister and her boyfriend are in France at the moment, and they come back at midnight, so they are having a really good time there. My older brother's up in uni, and my younger brother is just on his Xbox being very loud and annoying as per usual. My dad was tidying stuff around the house and then went off to bed, and me and my mum were watching some RuPaul's Drag Race episodes, and I then went on to my laptop and was just listening to a bit of music, chatting to my mates on Facebook and Twitter, put some Instagram photos that I'd forgotten to upload the other day. And yesterday evening, my younger sister did a practice run of when she does the vlog. My sister does my makeup, and it went really well. And I took a load of Instagram photos and posted those onto my Instagram of me with my face and makeup, and it went really well. Lots of people were liking and commenting on that on my Facebook and Twitter when I uploaded those onto there. And I cannot wait for when so far my shave. I'm gonna be having the makeup done and have it filmed and uploaded onto here, so I can't wait for you chat boxes to see that. I was a bit frustrated because I was going to go to the charity shops and boot shop this afternoon after lunch and have a look around and see if I could find a wig from one of the charity shops, because there's a charity shop that does a lot of fancy dress stuff. So I'm going to see if I could get a wig and stuff so I could go full on drag, watch at RuPaul. I'm going to Drag Race, and I was excited for that, but then it turned out I couldn't go today because me, my mum and my dad were picking my younger sister up from the cinema and then going off to Hobbycraft, so I couldn't, so I'm going to be going to the charge shops and bookshop tomorrow and hopefully finding a wig tomorrow. And then either Thursday or Friday we're going off to Whatnots, this knick-knack shop that sells anything and everything. And it's always great to get a lot of dolls and doll stuff from there, so hopefully I'll be able to get some new dolls, so I'll be able to show you, fingers crossed, all going well. And I got myself ready, and me and my mum and my dad went off to Hobbycraft, and my sister was there waiting for us. Went in and had a look around there, and I got this D initial, and it is gorgeous. I absolutely love the patterns on there, so I got this to hang up in my office, and I just absolutely love it. It's so great. And it was only a quid, so that was good. So I've still got a bit of money left because I've got well, £15, and I'm going to go to the charity shop tomorrow, have a look around, and then try not to spend too much of it, because then with the rest I have, I'm going to spend that in whatnots. Probably won't get anything tomorrow. I'll just have a look around. Might get a few bits of buzz, but it depends. Got to not spend too much, as I'm a little bit of a shopaholic. And I then had a look around at sort of fabrics and got a load of snaps of some of these awesome fabrics. There's a Star Wars fabric and stuff, and I really want to get my mum's sewing machine out so I can start making my own dresses for my dolls and boutique dolls. So that's a project that I'm hopefully going to start. And then me, my mum and dad, and my young sister went off to McDonald's, and we had McDonald's for tea. Had a Big Mac meal and a Fanta. I was going to have a strawberry milkshake, but the milkshake machine wasn't working, so I got a massive Fanta. Sat and had that. We normally get it for to take away, but instead we decided to eat it while it was hot. And then we made our way home. And while getting to the mall, the traffic was so bad. I think there must have been an accident because it was literally crazy. There's so much traffic, and we are now back home. And I sorted my office out a bit. I went onto my Facebook Twitter scrum and looked at this performing arts workshop that I'm hopefully going to start soon. And I caught up on Physical Talent and some other talent show stuff and watched That's So Nice, BGT, X Factor and The Voice auditions, and I watched some Vines, read some blogs and watched some vlogs, and I did some colouring pages, some puzzles and some word searches, and me and my siblings played some cards and board games. I played on Buzz and on the Wii and on COD and Minecraft, and played Snakes and Ladders, Ludo, Cheat, Sorry and some other cards and board games, and I did some colouring pages and some plastering and clay making, and I have had such a great day. I got my Bluetooth up through, so I did some 12 photography and I've started sorting those out, and I had a white magnum ice cream for my pudding, and I watched some Rob and Malik stuff and some other fandom stuff that I am in, some other couples that I'm in a fandom of, and I watched some episodes of Riverdale, The Fosters, Scream Queens, Charlie Hunters, and Gossip Girl, and New Girl, and some other teen drama and sci-fi and fantasy films. And I watched Tortured, Doctor Who, Supernatural, Child, Humans Being Human, and some other sci-fi and fantasy stuff, and watched Lord of the Rings, Fantastic Beasts, and some other fantasy films, and watched Labyrinth. And my younger sister's gone off to a party at her mate's house, and my older brother had gone off to the shops, and he's not back. My dad was sorting stuff around the house, and me, my mum, and my dad watched some TV, and I worked on some new songs and played on my keyboard a bit more. Did some clay and plastering and Play-Doh sculpting, and I tidied up my dolls and dollhouse and maybe playing my dog games. I showed and did some filming and did that. And watched Love Simon, Love Rosie, Penelope, St. Trinity's 1 and 2, and watched some other DVDs, and watched a Tom and Jerry movie and some Scooby Doo DVDs, and I watched some episodes of Will and Grace and Rules of Engagement and Station Address, and watched some episodes of Glee and listened to some Glee albums, and I watched some musical and musical singing and dancing dramas like The Next Step, Glee, and some other things like that, and I watched Mary Poppins, Sound of Music, love Julie Andrews, she is a queen in acting, and watched Bugsy Malone, Moulin Rouge. I watched Moulin Rouge last night, and the ending will never not fail to make me shed a tear. It's just heartbreaking, such a sad ending to such a beautiful film. I love the songs. My younger brother, although he'd probably hate me admitting this, but he absolutely loves the soundtrack to Moulin Rouge. So I got that for his birthday a few years back, and he just loves blasting out the Moulin Rouge soundtrack because the songs that they do are awesome. I mean, Ewan McGregor and Nicole Kidman are such great singers anyway. I just love Come What May. It's probably one of my favourite songs from the whole film. And I watched Chicago and watched some other musical stuff. And I watched the Lizzie McGuire movie, That's Raven, Corey in the House, and some other classic Disney and Nickelodeon and Boomerang and Cartoon YouTube films and shows. And I watched some episodes of H2 Just Add Water and some other stuff like that, and watched the Hannah Montana movie and some other Disney movies, and watched some Disney Princess movies. I watched live action Beauty and the Beast and Cinderella, and can't wait for the live action Mulan to come out soon, and Aladdin to come out as well. And I watched the Aristocats and Big Hero 6 and some other Disney animated stuff, and watched Wallace and Gromit, The Castle of the Rabbit, and Chicken Run, and some other stop motion and animated films. And I read some Marvel and DC comics, and read Vogue and Hello, and some other magazines, and some Doctor Who comics, and some soap magazines to catch up on my soap gossip. And I also read a bit of the 10th series of Excellence book I've always finished reading, and I started working on a new part to my book and started on the next book that I'm going to be doing a trilogy of, or maybe more books of that. And yeah, I had a lovely day, had a lovely time at Hobbycraft, and then going off to McDonald's, and I'm now off to go catch up on the soap and watch today's Hero and Neighbours and finish off some of my Big Brother assault. And I hope you've had a lovely Tuesday. Have a lovely rest of your week, and I shall see you soon with vlog coming very soon. Bye.